Black Panther is a 2018 film directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Letitia Wright, Andy Serkis, and Martin Freeman. The story takes place a week after the conclusion of Civil War, where T'Challa must handle the burden of being the new king of Wakanda, dealing with threats in the form of Ulysses Klaue and Eric Killmonger. It's really interesting seeing how this movie was received, with it only having come out last February. I even have a review on my channel discussing the movie after I saw it on opening weekend. I'll link that video right over here. There isn't a lot that's changed regarding my perspective on the film, and to be fair, there isn't a lot of change to be expected in the past couple of months. But yeah. So instead of discussing how the movie went and how good it is, and etc., I thought I'd take this time to add to what I've said in that video, with the benefit of having had a month or two to mull it over. This film was, and is still praised of being part of a cultural phenomenon of sorts. It's reeled in hundreds to thousands of rave reviews from all walks of life, while being a massive box office success, instigating a conversation all throughout mainstream media. For some, this might have been expected, as this movie is a combination of an incredible amount of talent, ranging from the director Ryan Coogler himself, to the all-star cast, to even the soundtrack produced by Kendrick Lamar. However, for most, I'm sure the impact of this movie superseded any and all expectations they might have had. Perhaps the most obvious way Black Panther impacted the world is its take on black culture. It's a movie that was unabashedly African, in a way that many Hollywood films would have been shy to have emulated. Wakanda, though a fictional location, reflected a portrayal of African culture that was advanced, thriving, and sophisticated. The entire aesthetic of the film, from costume design to hair design, was portrayed with the culture that the movie was based on in mind entirely. This brought about a positive reaction from people, who praised the film for everything they've done to portray this side of black culture on the big screen. This reaction, not only from people in the black community, but from people of all nationalities, was a celebration of representation in mainstream media. Many people could relate and feel something when seeing such a culture, one that is often maligned and misinterpreted, finally done justice, not just in any movie, but in a blockbuster, Marvel, superhero film of all things. It was truly beautiful to have seen and to have been part of such a moment in time. This wasn't the only reason that the film was celebrated though, as the movie turned out to be one of Marvel's best stories. I already mentioned how good I felt the movie was when I first saw it, but I wasn't the only one. It has everything you'd want in a movie. It has excellently written characters, extremely engaging conflicts, a wonderful aesthetic, and more. Everyone here is great, especially Michael B. Jordan, who I must praise once again here. He's fantastic in the film. I felt an intensity in his character that I have yet to feel for any other MCU villain. His villain was so compelling, and his beliefs and ideologies are things that anyone to some capacity can understand and relate to. One last thing I feel that's worth discussing is the message of the film imparted on its audience. The movie in a way is about us and our place in society. Despite being one people, we have a very long and a very complicated history with one another. We all have our own cultures, our own beliefs, our own lands that we watch over. We want to further ourselves constantly, and we want what's best for ourselves. However, the movie implores us, with all of this in mind, to think of what is the right thing to do in this complicated, modern world that we are living in. It reminds us of the cost to doing what is right, and reminds us that no matter how high the cost, what's right will always be worth doing. The movie's theme and message is one that's very relevant in this modern day and age, which is why I feel it's resonated with so many people in such a positive way. It brought about a new wave of optimism, with a hero that people of all ages and upbringings can look up and be inspired by. And I don't know, I think that's great. Black Panther was something else. It was a wonderful film that was able to reach far beyond the movie screen to touch the hearts of people everywhere. And it's for that reason that I still consider it one of the best in the MCU. 9 out of 10. Easily. So yeah. Here we are. 18 movies, 18 rewatch reviews. It's been truly wonderful being able to look at the MCU from the beginning and to have been able to analyze it in this way. All these movies mean so much to me, and to be able to discuss all of them on a medium like this is a blessing that I'm so grateful to have been afforded. This little series of mine will culminate in my review of Avengers Infinity War, and in a way, I wish it didn't have to end. But at the same time, I'm so excited to be seeing this movie that I've been waiting so long for. I'd just like to say thank you to anyone who's watched even just one of these rewatch reviews, and I hope you're as excited for Infinity War as I am. Anyways, like I said, the next review up on here will be for Infinity War. The hype is real.